The Environmental Protection Agency has filed a suit against 3 Oronogo residents. KOIM's Chris Warner joins us in the studio. Chris, what led to the EPA filing this suit?
Well, Dow, according to court documents, the 3 defendants named in the suit have denied the EPA access to their properties for testing and remediation. The suit names Ronald and Patricia West, as well as Randy Pendergraft. The suit involves a series of properties in Oronogo owned by the Wests and one property owned by Pendergraft. The properties are part of the Oronogo-Dunaweg Mining Belt Superfund site, which is contaminated with lead waste. According to the suit, the EPA has attempted to gain access to the properties to do soil testing and ultimately cleanup of the contaminated land. The EPA alleges that the Wests and Pendergraft have repeatedly denied them access to the properties to do so. We spoke with Ronald West, who declined to go on camera. He told us that he and his mother, Patricia, were approached by the EPA in 2016 about access to their properties. However, West tells us when he looked at the paperwork from the EPA, he says it listed him as a grantor. He became concerned about losing property rights if he signed those documents allowing the EPA on site. West says he was very careful to never tell the EPA no, and instead began working on a contract with the EPA for the work. However, West tells us not long after, the EPA simply stopped communicating until he learned of this suit. We reached out to the attorney in the case for the EPA and received a statement from a Department of Justice spokesperson. In it, they tell us in part that they recently completed cleanup of mining waste on the neighboring properties and that the EPA was unable to clean up the mining waste on the defendants' properties because the defendants refused to grant EPA access. The refusal to grant access is allowing the waste from defendants' property to recontaminate a downstream owner's recently cleaned property, which is increasing the total cost of the cleanup. Now, the EPA says they're not seeking any costs of cleaning up from the defendants. They're simply wanting to access the site. We attempted to speak with Randy Pendergraft, but we were unable to contact us. Now, West tells us he is in contact with an attorney, but no official representation has been listed yet. West wanted to emphasize to us that he never told the EPA they couldn't gain access to his property. He simply wanted a contract with them.
Chris Warner in the studio tonight. Chris, thanks.